正在弄哈，马上就好。
OK， 现在可以了，显示可以了，已经 OK 了，
已经 OK 了，显示可以了。那就是我把 host 给了陈老师之后，我们这个YouTube 还有效吗？
应该是没有问题吧？
试一下吧。
或者您把陈老师设为 co-host 嘛，他所有其他功能不都有吗？
等一下哈，但是陈老师希望我，反正我现在
It's okay.
OK 好，等一下啊。It's only 这个 only 这一次哈，只有这一次，这一次我是 host， 然后那个下面都是好吗？我就怕又出错了。OK 好，先 we can start now. OK. Let me see.
I need you to change your screen name to your first English name. Otherwise, I don't know who you are. Okay. Change your screen name to your first English name. Otherwise, I have to remove you from the list since I don't recognize who this is. Your Chinese name? Okay.
No.
The last name is Zhou.
So 改成中文名字。
You need to change your Chinese name to English name, okay?
Okay. Change to 周佑山 change to English.
Okay. Is Frank here? Frank? Is Maggie here? Why don't you turn on the video? All of you? Would you mind turning on the video so I can see you? We are trying our best to simulate a classroom situation. So if you cannot do that, you can opt out. I don't want to, I don't want to speak to a bunch of black boxes in front of me. Okay, that's much better. Very nice. Zhou Youshan, who is that? Zhou Youshan. What happened? I have to remove you. I'm serious.
She said she's in the car, so maybe she can't open the camera. Maybe that's the reason.
No. It's the name. It's the name. It's the Chinese name there. Okay, Natalie. Okay, that's good. And Luke, can you turn on the video?
Luke said he doesn't have a camera in the chat.
And the same case with Natalie.
Natalie is in the car.
Okay, whatever. Let's get started. Okay, we are going to cover 4 areas this course. reading comprehension, writing. Basically, it's in connection with SAT writing test. So it's multiple choices. And we are also dealing with grammar and rhetoric, and also vocabulary. Although we understand that we are basically dealing with only two things, reading and writing. Grammar and rhetoric, they provide bones or skeleton. And diction or vocabulary, it provides flesh, so flesh and bone of the language. But basically, we are dealing with reading. When you read, you absorb information. I think the major means to expand your intellectual horizon is through reading. This is the only way, not the only way, you can also interact with other people, but this is the most effective way to grow intellectually. You expose yourself to other people's perspectives, to other points of view, to people's feelings, experiences, emotions. And very often, the same case with music or painting, you understand the nuances, subtleties of meaning. And that's how you broaden, your experiences. You absorb information through reading, and you write to express your ideas, to achieve effective communication. So these are the two basic ways. Especially in a democracy, you need, if you want to be a responsible citizen, you have to understand the messages sent to you, and you have to be able to communicate. And that's why the reading skills, the writing skills are going to stay with you throughout high school, college, and even when you enter the workforce, when you go into the society. Your identity is going to be inseparable from your ability to command the English language. It's going to stay with you all your life. Even the way you perceive the world would be determined to a great extent how good your English is. You cannot escape it. And of course, it's job related. When you work, you have to be able to communicate effectively through your writing or through your speaking, and through your ability to understand the written communication. Okay. And I think I'm going to, we got a chat message. Let's see. We don't have a camera. I'm in the car. Okay. We have guiding principles for everything we do here. There are altogether three, just three. The first one is unity. When you write, you need to have a main idea. When you read a passage, you need to understand the main point the author is trying to make. What is the point? So everything you do in either reading or writing is dependent on unity. You have one thing to say. If you have two things to say, then there should be something higher that can encompass both. Otherwise, there's no unity. Why do you talk about elephant first and then about food? human food. There's no connection. You need something to combine the two. So unity is the first, and you can see from our reading, from SAT reading passages and writing passages, you can see that each passage has a main idea, which controls everything. Whenever you hesitate, whenever you have uncertainty, recall the main idea. What is the main idea? Is this choice related to the main idea or not? If you are stuck, between two choices, then see how closely one of them is related to the main idea. That one must be the answer. That's how you make judgment. Okay. This is the first principle, unity, main idea. The second one is coherence. When you write, when you read, you need logical connection. For instance, between two independent clauses, if you want to combine them into one idea, one sentence, you need a coordinating conjunction to form them into a compound sentence. Or if you have two ideas, you want to make one the main idea, the other is supplementary or secondary, you need a coordinating conjunction to connect the two. Otherwise, if you just put a comma between the two independent clauses, you create a comma splice. You must have heard of it. That's why your English teachers so hate comma splices. It's a grammar error. Egregious. We'll be talking about that later. This is and then also, between between sentences, you need sometimes conjunctive adverbs, like therefore, however, nonetheless, furthermore, consequently, you have all these. In addition, that's connecting sentences. And also, you need to connect paragraphs. You have the topic sentence serving as a transitional sentence, connecting the previous paragraph to the current paragraph. You see, you need to pay attention to coherence. Coherence, the second important principle. A lot of SAT or ACT writing questions are based on coherence. That means that, do we have meaningful connection between ideas? It's all related to your ability to organize ideas. Is it to put them, in a meaningful, unity, and everything serving the main idea. The third principle, clarity. You need to express your ideas clearly. Clarity is the third principle. Have you heard of pronoun references? Yeah, you need to know what it or they refer to. Diction, clarity. What do you mean? So 3 major principles. So actually, you see, when we talk about content and form, we are not dealing with choices or format in abstract. We are dealing with ideas hidden behind them. The ideas, how you relate ideas to each other. Basically, that's how English, any language works. So if you don't understand the idea, you are not sure if you're on the right track. You cannot be certain. You have to understand the idea. Idea, or the main idea, is the soul of writing or reading. It's the very thing. Otherwise, you don't have being does not exist. There's no being, no existence, unless you have a controlling idea, which make everything in this piece of writing connected to each other. And so our methodology would be always would be elimination. What do I mean? You don't choose the right one, never. When you choose something, you assume that you know everything. You are omniscient. You know everything. And if you assume that kind of intellectual, superiority, you are in danger. You heard of the, Socrates in ancient Greece. People asked gods, who is the wisest man, in Athens? And God say, oh, it's Socrates. And people approach Socrates saying that God said that you are the wisest man in our study. And Socrates said, what? I know nothing. And then he began to think and came to the conclusion, oh, now I understand. I'm the wisest man because I know that I'm ignorant. Because you assume that you know nothing, but we know some rules. So according to those rules, we eliminate, out of the 4 choices, we eliminate 2, C and D. We cannot decide between A and C. But you solve the problem by 50%. You only have 2 choices. You use another rule. Usually, there's a pattern in SAT testing. 2 choices can be eliminated by 1 rule. And the 2 remaining ones, you can decide by another rule. This is the same logic you apply in math or physics or chemistry, or even by Sherlock Holmes. When he's trying to find the guilty person, the culprit, he would rule out possibilities. Or that guy, gentleman A, he cannot be there. He cannot be, have been there last night. No, it cannot be him. Gentleman B, also, you got, an alibi there. So it's impossible for him to be there. So the last person, no matter how absurd, how unexpected, must be the murderer. That's how we do it. We eliminate. So this is our, we call it standard operational procedure. Our we call it SOP. In every company, you have that, standard operational procedure. But we are individuals, so each one of you need to find out what works best for you. By working on the passages carefully. This is how we control the quality. Some of us always get, out of 44 items in writing packet, we got 38, 39, and can never exceed that number. So probably this is not something about our knowledge. This is something about our working habit. So our goal is to try to convert our knowledge of rules through elimination, convert those rules, our knowledge of those rules, into our instinct. So when we write, by our instinct, we avoid those mistakes. We know there's something wrong there. It becomes a habit. This is another matter because many of us cannot apply what we know to our writing. We can't. And the second advantage of this is that by elimination, when you are able to eliminate two choices and there are two remaining, you cannot decide. And that's the time when you raise questions. How come? What happened? Could you show me? Could you explain? Is it because I don't know something? Or because my logical reasoning doesn't work? Is there something? No? Or is the habit? We'll work on that. So don't treat SAT homework or in-class work as routine. I know we have been brought up from elementary school through middle school to high school, treating homework as routine work. Anyway, it just takes time. There's not too many challenging things, you know. So I can wait. I can wait until the last night, and then I get it done, and then tomorrow it's due. Don't do that. You need to work on it seriously. Reading, if necessary, read 3 times if you can. And you might say that, you know, it's a timed test. In-class practices will, you know, will impose that time limit. But as homework, you can work it, you know, within a time period. But do it again to make sure that you don't make any mistakes. Since I'm going to ask you around to see, you know, I'm going to ask you to share your answers with all of us in the chat. So you need to be prepared to do that. Okay, so let's read, analyze, and think. The only nutrition you receive is from struggle with the text, and you enhance your abilities by that. I originally planned to have 2 assessments, but let's do more next week. For this week, I need to find out how you work on the writing packet. Next week, maybe reading. I'm trying to find out where you stand in terms of, you know, each area and also vocabulary. So I'm going to send to you a writing packet. You need to, let me share the screen. Good. Let me share this. Here we go. You can see the screen I share. Huh? So I'm going to send the packet to you, and you need to finish it within the designated amount of time. And then you need to submit your answers to me by replying to that email. And you need to provide your answers like this: 1A in a single column, 1A, 2B, 3C, 4D, like that. somehow it makes me, it's easier for me to go over your answers this way. Okay. Any problems? No. So right now I'm going to send you the packet. I don't know if I have all of your emails or I have your parents. If you don't receive my email, then you need to turn to your parents for help. Yeah, I can see, email addresses containing Hotmail. It must be, your parents' email. It cannot be yours. We got a few, quite a few, at least 5 or 6 Hotmails. This is not in the United States. But yeah, ask your parents for this writing packet. And I'll go over, I'm going to grade your work, and I'm going to find out, what problems you might have. And so 2 things you need to do after you finish working on this. One is to send your answers to me by replying to my email. The second thing is that to raise questions you want me to go over, to elaborate, to discuss to the chat. Go to send the numbers to the chat. Could you explain, or even in more detail, like question number 14, is it B or is it C? And then, I'll be glad to go over. Now let me send you the writing packet. I sent. When you have received your writing packet and have started working on it, you may turn on the video to better focus and let me know that everything is fine. You got your packet. You have already working on it. Okay. Yeah. Turn on the video. The signal is, everything is fine. You have started working. And I'm going to set a time, 35 minutes. It's 35 minutes. Yeah, I don't have any information. Okay. Send it to you individually. Have you received it? Did you receive the packet? Then you need to ask your parent. You see, I don't know. So you did not submit your email and then come to take the class. So how do we work?
I already have my email. Like I already gave it to the group chat.
And so, I mean, look at all of you. You did not turn on the video, so it means that you have not received the packet yet?
常恒老师，那个学生的那个 list 里面已经有大部分的学生的 email 了。
I don't know. Yeah, this is what I have, and this is all I have. But and no email has been returned. So I assume those emails are okay. They are working. Why don't let's try this way? It's much better. Let me send you my email, and then you can send me a message asking for the packet, and I will send it to you. Put your name there, okay? That I am Eric Chen, for instance, and then please send me the packet. Yeah. Okay. Let me put that here. Let me send to everyone my email. There we go. You see that in the chat? Do you see that? Give me a nod. Say, give you. Do you see that in the chat? Okay, very good. Send me an email, and then I'll send you the assessment packet. Or maybe I can also send it through the chat. Let me see if you can receive that in the chat. Okay. This is so different from the Zoom. Okay, I got Natalie's email. Very good. I'll send it to you right now. Yeah, I sent. When you received it and everything is fine, turn off the video. Okay. I hope by next week, everything everything goes smoothly. Many of you have turned off the screen. That's wonderful. So send me an email. I will send a packet to you. Elisa, okay, I'll send it to you. Nice. Okay, open. I sent. Do not send your message to my message in response to my email containing that writing packet, because I'm waiting for your answers. Jia Yi, I think. Yeah, I'm going to send you the packet. No, don't send me your emails. You need to send a message to my email, so it's easier for me. I don't want to create errors, Yeah, Jia Yi, I send it to you now. And you may turn out Yu Qiu Zhou. Is it Caroline? Yeah, no, don't give me the email. Send something to my email so I can respond. And this is who? Carrie. Okay. Carrie, I'll send you the packet. Very good. Yeah, that's correct. I sent. And who is that? Caroline? Okay. Let me try this. Copy. Very good. I sent. Eric, have you sent me an email? My email address is there. Oh, Ronald. Okay, I'll send it to you. I sent Ronald. Ethan, did you send anything to me?
I sent 2 emails to you.
If I did not receive it, then probably you need to check the address. Let me take a look. See,
That's
Eric, I got yours now. Yeah, very good. I sent Eric. Turn on the video when you have it. Ashley, did you send me an email?
Yes, sir, I did. I sent it to you.
Let me check. Let me check.
Okay.
I don't have it. No, that's it. Yeah, I have responded to everyone. Let me check the. Okay. Yeah. Many of your emails has been sent to spam. Okay, Luke, I got your email now. Yeah, they have been sent to the spam folder. Look, I sent. I think I sent to everyone. Let's see. Yeah, Luke, I sent to you. Eric, yes. So Eric Yang, have you received it?
No.
You probably did not send me an email. Let me check the spam folder again. Oh, I got it.
Okay.
What?
Thank you.
Very good. I got it. I'm sending it now.
Mr. Chang, did you get my email?
Ashley, I think I sent you the packet, didn't I?
You sent it to my mom, but can you send it to my Gmail, like my personal Gmail?
You need to send to me. You
Yeah,
sent
I
the
did.
message to me, did you?
Yeah, I did. Send an email.
Ashley, let me see. See it here. Who is this? No name is there. No, I don't want to send anything. Let's see. Ethan Yu.
Huh? Oh.
Ethan,
I sent 2 emails to you.
I didn't send the packet to you yet, huh? Did I? Ethan Yu, I sent it to you. Yeah, turn on the video when you have it. Ray, did you send me anything? Ethan, you're going to receive my packet momentarily.
Yeah, I just received it.
Oh, Ray, yes, you may turn on the videos and work on the packet. Ashley, no? Still not? My gosh, this is so complicated. It's okay, the first day, yeah, it's always chaotic. Call me hey. Who is this? I don't want to respond to this. You need to, in the message, you need to say I am and then your name. You did? I don't see anything here from, could you send it again? No, I didn't receive anything.
Mr. Chang, I resent it with them. It should have my name on it.
那个发给他的是这里要注明，
I did.
这里有注明是谁发的。那你画一个给我，什么我没收到了。
This is email. This is email. Send it out.
Ashley, I got your email. Very good.
Okay, good.
How could this be that complicated? Okay, I sent. You're all set now?
Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. And Ray, you should have received it also. It's okay. Let's be patient. This is the first day, so a lot of logistic problems. I believe all of you have received the packet now. Am I right? So we have 30 minutes left. I'll give you 10 extra minutes, so 30 minutes from now. For those who are done, you can just send your answers to me and send questions to the chat. It's time now. Yeah, send your questions to me by replying to my email containing that packet. Got answers from Eric Chen. Very good. From Ronald. From Lisa. Natalie. Luke. Jiayi. Yeah, please submit your answers in the next 1 or 2 minutes so we can start our discussion. It doesn't matter if you are not done yet. Send your answers. Yeah, it's okay. It doesn't matter how much you do. Yeah, it's okay. If you miss some answers, you can add those answers now. Got answers from Maggie. Thank you. Okay. From Ethan. Any more? You need to submit your answers now. Otherwise, the assessment cannot be accurate. Actually, I gave you more than the due amount. I need answers from. We go over. Eric Yang, Kyle, Alexis, Caroline, thank you. Very good. Yeah, I got. Let me see. I think I got your answers now. I got yours. I cannot figure out your name from your email, so yeah. Anyway, and Kyle, yes. Ashley, thank you. Okay. You are not supposed to send me another email. You are supposed to respond to my email. All right. Okay. Yeah, almost everyone, with probably one or two exceptions. Frank, I sent you the packet, but you are not here. You're not present. That's the an exception. Otherwise, Alex is yes. Let me see. You sent it to me. Then I might have missed in my. Let me look for it. It's not in a spam folder. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to ask you for your answers later. Caroline, you already sent? Let me take a look. Yeah, I think that's your name. Caroline. Yeah, I got yours, Caroline. Yes. Very good. Now, any questions? No questions? The ability to raise questions is essential for your progress and for your quality control mechanism during the test. You need to develop that kind of, a sense of misgiving whenever you make a mistake. You should have a sense of uneasiness. That's fine. We'll go over the packet, one passage, passage by passage. Okay. And if no one, because you can raise the question to me, you don't have to raise your questions to everyone. So no one would know you raise a question. You see, just send your question to me in the chat. Don't worry. But let me send you the, well, we'll try to kind of rush through. Let me give you let me share the screen with you. This is our assessment today. We have 4 passages. So let's check 1 to 11. I'm going to give you, since no one has sent me questions, so I'm going to share with you the correct answers. Yeah, it's so good. A student asked me, can you explain number 1? And let me explain. Let me explain number 1. Here you go, number 1. This is number 1. This photograph was taken in 1867, was taken more than a century ago, more than 100 years ago. And then another idea is it feels immediate, as if the subject was staring back at the viewer in the present moment. It was taken so long ago, but it feels immediate. These two ideas are in contrast. Am I right? So we are looking for a conjunction that means that indicates the contrast. So no. If you put so, it's the result. So that's the result. So the contrast, the best one is cannot be since or while. The best one is although. Although it feels immediate, as if its subject was staring back at the viewer in the present moment. The answer must be C, because the two ideas are in contrast. And you need a conjunction expressing that contrast. Therefore, C for number 1. Any more questions? You need to turn on the video. Come on. You want me to talk to a bunch of dark boxes? Yeah, turn on the video. Whenever you are done, turn on the video. We are trying to simulate a classroom situation where, students and teacher interact with each other. I give you the correct answers now, and if you find out something wrong, very often you can figure out, but sometimes you just cannot. You are not convinced. Why? Can you go over number 40? We are dealing with passage 1. When we reach passage 4, I'm going to explain number 44. Okay, you can raise that question. I'll try to remember. You have a question about 44. That's jumping to the very end. But let me give you the correct answers to passage 1, and you raise questions. Learn to raise questions. We don't want to do something routinely without any, without any feeling, any sense of danger, or any sense of misgiving. That's a very dangerous situation. We need to work. We are working towards 2 goals. One is expertise, of course. We need to know how to do it. Second is confidence. You need to be confident. When you are done, when you have chosen the right choice, this one, because I eliminated all other 3. So this one, no matter what, must be right. Okay. 11, yes. Yeah, 11 belongs to this passage. Let's go over 11. Let's find out what's there in number 11. Here is another rule. If you have a notebook, write down something, take notes. Always read the whole sentence. Always. Never read just a fragment of the sentence or a portion of a sentence. Let me read it now. And do not look at the answers. Anticipate what's coming up. Let me read the sentence. Photographers who came later have appreciated what Cameron's contemporaries could not. The camera can turn away from the material world and its literalism, turn away from A to B, is it? So turn away from the material world and its literalism to an artistic interpretation of life. Move away from some place towards another place. That's the natural conjunction. That's a proposition, actually. That's how you connect ideas. So we are looking for turning away from towards somewhere, then you don't have to look for answers. This answer will come to you by itself. And then you check. Being doesn't make sense. From, you have from something, from, no, it cannot be C. And from something, besides something, come on. It must be B toward. See how natural they connect. This is how we write English, is it? That's something logical. From California to Massachusetts. Okay. Number 11. So I'm glad that you raised this question because it brings up an important point about the procedure. This is what we must do. Dealing with every question, go over the entire sentence and try to build up some anticipation, some conjecture or guess what that answer might be. And it's so obvious. Second point, you need to assume a position of authority. You are trying to help your peers to find the right answer through elimination. So number 11, it's so clear. It must be B. Because you connect. We need to connect. Isn't it? 11. Any more questions about passage 1? If not, let me give you the correct answers. And then you come again. You come up with questions again. Okay. Let me give you the answers. I don't know if I got the right place. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, it must be the right one. And send to everyone. You check. Check carefully. These are correct answers. And it's your turn to raise questions again. If you don't understand, if you don't agree, raise questions. The good news is probably you find, that you have come up with the same answers. That will be great. I actually picked a PSAT packet to make it a little bit easier for us. This is a PSAT packet. Any more questions? And another point is, when you go over the packet, the questions should emerge in the process. You don't look for questions at the end. Questions means that those items where you cannot decide. You have eliminated 2, and there are 2 remaining. Or you can only manage to remove 1, and there are 3 answers. You don't know which one to remove further. And you come up with questions. What should I do? Let's move on to the second passage. Any questions? Second passage. I'll give you like half a minute. See if you have any questions. Go over the second passage and see if you have questions to raise. When I get more familiar with you, I'm going to ask you questions. maybe I ask one of you to share your answers with us. If you don't raise questions, I don't think, yeah. For those who already come up with questions, I will not bother to trouble you again. But any questions about passage 2? I'll give you the right answers. Before that, let's see, before, very good questions, number 1 and number 11. Let's go to the very end, since the question has been raised. So let me go to 44. 44. You know the rule about the composition of paragraphs or an essay. If you need a concluding sentence, the sentence should more or less re-emphasize the main idea. But if you look at this, after all, market researcher data monitor found that between 2008 and 2011, more than 800 new food products were labeled artisan in some way. This is too specific to be a good concluding sentence. In a concluding sentence, you need a general statement. How can you be that specific? And then more than 800 new food products were labeled artisan. This is about certification process, not about how, how many new food products were labeled that year. So should the writer make this addition here? No. Therefore, A and B should be removed. C, no, because neither the specificity of the information nor its relationship to what is presented earlier is appropriate. Yeah, both in content, it's not related to the main idea, it's too specific. And it does not connect largely with the previous. Yeah, the previous discussion in the paragraph. So C is a good one, and D, because it does not distinguish between legitimate and illegitimate artisan label. That's not the issue. The answer should be C. It's so clear, too specific, and also not much related. C for 44. And if you have, if you go over this paragraph, you can see that, this does not connect. So 44, the answer is C. Passage 2, if you have no questions, let me give you the correct answers. I'm actually hoping we can get something. We can do more today. If you don't mind, I would extend this class by 10 minutes, since we wasted a lot of time working on logistics. Second passage, the key, from 12 to 22. Here you go. These are correct answers. If you do not have any questions to raise tonight, you may wait. You copy and paste the key, and then go over your work and check the key. See if you got more questions. But very often you can figure out why your answer is incorrect. But sometimes, if you cannot, figure out why, come back with your questions. I'll be happy to answer them. But you need to scrutinize your work, see what caused the problem, why something went wrong, why I didn't pick the right answer. Again, send me questions directly, not to me, not to everyone. Let me share the screen. Here you go. Just based on let me go over a few of them and see. See here, number 18. Number 18, if you look at this question is about conciseness. A should be removed because you have short phrases, not at all very lengthy. That's redundant. A has to go, isn't it? You need to read the whole sentence and find out, oh, you are repeating the information. Short sentences, not at all very lengthy, no. B, such as northbound and local train. You have no reason to question this. I mean, let's keep it unless we find something better. And C, and they are recorded individually. You already have the information. They will be electronically strung together as needed to form the transit announcements. So of course, recorded individually, it's not necessary. Otherwise, you know, why they have to be strung together. So C has to go. Listen. And D, with enunciation that is done. Enunciation means pronounce carefully. So this is very wordy, very redundant. So only B makes sense. And this is the best expansion, such as you have concrete examples. Another one is 20. 20 connects this present sentence to the previous sentence. The previous sentences, let's see, in some cases, standard announcements such as those warning passengers to stay away from the platform edge are recorded in a single long take. That's the previous sentence, is it? And then once this happens, once what happens? Once in some cases, standard announcements are recorded in a single long take. This is so ambiguous. Be the same thing after this. So this test is on clarity of expression. This, we don't know what it refers to. However, sometimes, it's fine, but there's no contrast. The announcer's voice can take on a kind of celebrity of its own. It forms no contrast with the previous, sentence. The best answer is D. Once the recordings go live, the announcer's voice can take on the kind of celebrity of it. We get so familiar with the voice because we, take a subway on daily basis. So we know the voice. And this item is a test. A and B have to go because the pronoun does not have clear reference. C, however, there's no logical connection. So only D is the best. Anyway, let me go to the third passage. Oh, very good. We got a bunch of questions. Let me write down your questions. Got a bunch. Maybe, so that I don't have to go back and forth. Number 13, number 18, number 14. So we have 3 questions. Let me go over 13, 14, and 18. Let's go there. Number 13. This is not just about how to take a test. This is fundamentally about how to write. Write with clarity, write with logic, isn't it? Okay, number 13 now. Number 13 here. Sentence 7. Number 7. After all, how much skill does it take to announce next stop? 42nd Street, Times Square. So the sentences around it must be the assumption that, oh, come on, it's such an easy job. You just say something simple, is it? Okay. How about number 5? It might seem as if almost anyone could do their job. It's so simple. Huh? After all, how much skill does it take to announce next stop, Times Square, you know? And then you have 6. But make no mistake. Most transit announcers are highly trained voiceover artists. See how it fits. Perfect logical connection. Isn't it? Anticipate. After all, how much skill does it take? So before it must be the assumption. Oh, most people, you know, assume it's very easy to be an announcer. Number 13. So it's after sentence 5, number 13. When you are dealing with these kind of questions, read the sentence carefully. It must provide some clue. Otherwise, the designers of this test cannot justify themselves. They cannot justify. Okay. Number 14. Number 14, cities generally hesitant pace when selecting announcers for, this is the topic sentence. It is the first sentence of the paragraph. So it must somehow introduces the main idea of this paragraph. And what is the main idea? Some take a scientific approach. Carefree, you know, consulting carefree screened focus groups. Selection committees are typically looking for a voice that strikes a certain balance. Again. And so this paragraph is about, you know, and the messages themselves may be quite perfunctory and provide little scope for dramatic interpretation, but it still must be read with just the right intonation and emphasis. So the tone must be right. So this is not something, you know, routine or easy. The best answer, cities generally exercise great care in selecting announcers for their transit systems. B works. I don't want to remove B, but I can easily remove A. Hesitant pace, what do you mean? Hesitant or exercise great care. Exercise great care is very positive. Take this sweet time, come on. This is like a short story. No, too emotional. And D, act with the utmost gravity means you don't smile. No, it's about manners. No, it's about how careful you are. So the answer is B. 14, exercise great care in selecting announcers. Now you understand why B is the best. It has the first sentence of the paragraph means a lot. It must, give a hint to the content of the whole paragraph. It's the topic sentence. And let me see, 18. Number 18. I think I explained 18. Oh, okay. Probably you asked question before me. Before I did this. Very good. 17. Sure. 17. 17 is a very good question. We can remove A because this is a colon and then but they. After the colon, you don't need a conjunction. A colon should be followed by anything like a noun, a phrase, a clause, but never a conjunction, never. B maybe, C maybe, D no. After semicolon, remember, take a note. Semicolon indicates a parallel structure. Two ideas are juxtaposed with each other. So semicolon means and. You don't need another conjunction. Semicolon, and then you need another independent clause. So A and D should be removed. How about B and C? But is a conjunction. However, it's not a conjunction. Let me give you this example to illustrate the nature of however, or therefore, or nevertheless. Let me show you. Let me show you this. We have a font. Maybe larger. 20. Yeah. They all went to watch the movie. However, I didn't go. My sister and I, however, didn't go. We didn't go, however. So look at this. However, is so flexible in its position. It can be put at the beginning of the sentence. It could be put in the middle of the sentence. It could be put at the end of the sentence. However, we call however a lot of these we call them, they are adverbs, but in meaning, they connect. So we call them conjunctive adverbs. Grammatically, they are adverbs, but they serve to connect ideas. Conjunctive adverbs. Now you see, if you look at this item, number 17. If you have however here, remember your English teacher told you, if you have however or therefore, between two independent clauses, you need a semicolon and then a comma after however, because however itself cannot connect two sentences. No. It's an adverb. Therefore, for 17, the answer must be B. B is okay. Now it's clear. This is a very important distinction. But and however. But is a conjunction. It serves to connect two phrases or two clauses, no problem. However, no. However is an adverb. So C is a comma splice. I just mentioned comma splice because you put a comma between two independent clauses. It means that you put two ideas together without indicating how they relate to one another. And that's a problem. '21. I hope this kind of a discussion of this general nature, is very helpful because we understand, how careful we must be. We have to be very careful. 21. Let's go to 21. And here you go. 21. Yeah, this is a nasty question. From comic, adjective, to romantic, adjective, to gritty. And to, yeah, this is so wordy. B is okay. And C you have from adjective to adjective and to noun. It cannot be C. D, as well as romantic, you have noun and then adjective and adjective. The answer should be B. You have good parallel structure. The same part of speech. Most of us are more nervous about reading than writing. So if you get a very good score on writing, that would kind of alleviate your burden with reading. It's not that stressful, You can afford to lose a few points. Okay, I've done a perfect job in writing. But reading, of course, is much more challenging. Because, why? Reading has a lot to do with ideas, especially passage 1 and passage 4. Passage 1, literature. Passage 4, social studies, history, gender and racial issues, politics, a lot of complex issues there. So we don't want to do a neat job, overwriting. Yeah. So that would give us confidence. Let's move on to the third. We have 10 minutes left. We'll move on to the passage 3. I'll give you the correct answers anyway, and then you'll see. Let me answer your questions. 23 to 33. I sent to everyone. Oh, there's such a gap between 30 and 34. Anyway, it's clear. Let me have your questions if you have any. Form the habit of raising questions. That's why I think most of you know some Chinese. That's why knowledge or learning in Chinese is called 学问. You have to learn and you have to 问, ask. You have to raise questions. You need to have intellectual curiosity about how this thing works. Let me figure out why. So raise questions if you have any. let me go there and see. You need time also to figure out. Number 31. Okay, very good. And I'll come back to find more. Let me write down. (31, 29). Let me share the screen. (29) first. At this point, the writer is considering using the figure to support the claim made in the previous sentence. Based on the data in the figure, would this be an effective choice? Let's find out. This is the previous sentence. After testing many combinations of sponge extracts and competitors, Engel and Pollack found that 30% of the sponge extracts tested have chemical deterrents inhibiting competitor growth. Okay, 30% of sponge extracts after testing many combinations. So do we have the graph? Oh, here. We don't have many and we don't have percentage. We don't have after testing, 30% or something. No. So let's go back to our answer should be, would this be an effective choice? Using the figure to support the claim. You cannot use the figure to support this claim. No. So the answer, let's remove A and B first for 29. C, no, because the data show that all of the extracts tested have a chemical deterrent. This is C. Huh? Okay. Let's read the question. Based on the data in the figure, would this be an effective choice? That's using the figure to support the claim. There's no 30% here for 29. No. So A and B have to be C. I don't think. Yeah, we got stuck with C. How about D? No, because the data do not show numbers. Yeah, this is perfect. This is perfect fit. Show numbers or percentages of the total number of sponge extracts tested, having the chemical deterrents. D is the perfect answer. So you see, A and B being removed in the first place would kind of, make it easier for us to decide between C and D. 30, sentence structure. Extracts of the sponge species, Diacetyl, Etheria, and Entiplasma thorax deter growth of all three competitors that were tested. If you do not look at the choices were tested, all three competitors that were tested, I will put a colon there. A, B, and C. Semicolon is not allowed because after semicolon, you need a complete clause. C has to go. A has to go because you need some punctuation mark. So A and C are very easily removed. And then B, tested, comma. So do you mean that the three competitors that were tested, and then comma, 1, 2, 3, or colon? Colon is much better, isn't it? So actually, in many cases, we are encouraged to use colon. 31, the question 31. here. The competing organism, one, for example, show approximately 4% overgrowth. For example, for 31 is pretty good, isn't it? In addition, no. However, there's no contrast. So for 31, the answer should be 31 is an easy one. Why did you raise question 31? No. Yeah, all other choices don't make sense. To point out, in addition, however, no. These are examples. 24. Let's go to 24. Interesting. Sentence structure again. You probably have 7 or 8 items out of 44 dealing with sentence structure. This is a big deal. Sentence structure. Let's take a look. 24. Sponges compete with other organisms, comma, including other sponges, comma, to occupy space on the reef. In dealing with questions like this, you need to pay attention to the main structure of the sentence. The main structure is sponges compete with other organisms to occupy space on the reef. That's it. And then you want to add some information, put a comma, including other sponges, comma, to occupy space. So you need a comma and a comma. Here, A, no complaint. B, organisms, including other sponges, semicolon, to occupy. This is ridiculous. After semicolon, you need an independent clause. And C, you have a comma, but you don't have a comma after. When you have comma and comma, it means that you can remove this phrase without affecting the entire structure of the sentence. The sentence will still make sense, even with, what is enclosed within commas being removed. C is wrong. And D, you have colon, including other, colon, including. After colon, usually, you don't need a prepositional phrase or a gerund. No. So, comma, comma, for 24. Therefore, the answer has to be A. Okay. The last passage. Let me give you the last passage. The answers to the last passage. You will find out that there are so many patterns there recurring again and again. They just want us to know, because probably they found out these are recurring problems with many students. A lot of students having these problems. Sentence structure, pronoun references. Let me send you. This is perfect. There you go. These are correct answers. And let me know if you have questions. And I'll go over your answers and find out how strong you are, how much help you need. Shall we let it go? Or you have questions? We're going to take originally I planned to give you a test on vocabulary range, because we need to work on that too. But we don't have time. It's okay. I'll send you a vocab list. We got some vocabulary list. So, and with some quiz at the end of the list. You can go over the list and we'll go over the vocabulary, the first thing, next class. And I'm going to send you a reading. You got a week, so plenty of time. We'll do a in-class reading assessment. Since we need to learn how to work under pressure, time pressure. Time limit creates a lot of stress. And we need to get used to that. But we also need to work on accuracy and the homework reading packet. You can read it many, many times, as long as you come up with the right answer. So I'm going to send you 2 packets, vocabulary and reading practice, and we'll come back for reading assessment. For the assessment, we're going to use a real, I think it's a 2020, it's May, I don't remember, the real SAT test. Okay, let me send you. I want to know that your email works. So I'm going to send to all of you the vocab and the reading packet now. Wait for me and we'll see. Next class will be June 19. So I put June 19 reading homework and then the vocab. I sent. When you receive it, means everything is fine. You can wave and leave. Okay, I'll see you next week. Check your email. Got it? You should have it. Bye.
I got it. Thank you.
Sure. Okay.
Thank you.
Xiaomai, would you mind staying after class?
Yeah.
Bye. See you.
Yeah, 好，我在。
Got it? Yeah.
其他同学可以退出了哈，我跟陈老师还要开个会。
If you got the packet, yeah, you can leave.
Okay, yeah.
OK， 我就趁他们在做的时候，在考试的时候，我把他们的 email， 他每一个人都给我单独送一个，所以我把他们合成起来，然后放在 email 上面。
但是
现在我一下子就发出去了。
但是我跟你讲，因为这个课是第1堂课，有人会退嘛。
没关系，他退了那个 package 就让他们自己用。
OK， 行，反正我会。
OK， 无所谓。
因为有些孩子很小的，他有些孩子是初中生的，
初中生也可以学，没关系。
他妈妈就强迫他来上。
我记得你女儿当时来学还很小。
对啊，但是他小孩子不喜欢啊，是妈妈强迫他来的。
哦，那不行，如果不喜欢，叫他退出。
对啊，所以他有一个就退啊，因为他
有一个 Frank， 他给我要 packet， 但是他没有出现。
他没有来，
他
没有来
出现
上课，但是他交了钱，他交
了钱，而且他给我送那个 email， 他要这个 packet， 我已经发给他。
对，他今天的钱他都交了，但是有一个是没有交今天的钱，他也给你发了。
没关系，算了，没关系。反正他如果下个星期想上，因为上这个只有对他有好处，没有坏处。
是，对。
对，他们都需要这个，就是说，不管你再好，也需要这个。
OK，
应该不会有什么太大的出入。
OK， 好，
可能会有几个人。
对，还有一个可能是，就是他们年龄可能有点小，可能等初中那个班吧，有些人。然后那个就是这一门课的名称，我们可不可以改为 SAT、ACT 高的？因为他们一说是英文阅读，他们都不要上了。他说我要等 SAT 那个班，英文
就是 SAT 嘛，你就写 SAT 啊。
好，那我就写 SAT。
这个就是 SAT， 你看我用的是 SAT 的材料。
OK， 好，那就行。主要
而且他那些人应该也有一些人会在旁边旁听的，是吧？
对。
但是我们现在在讲话，是不是在 YouTube 了？